Hello students, I am Manoj Kundare working as the Assistant Professor of Electronic Science. Welcome back to our e-learning platform. In this video, we are going to start the paper first of semester first named as Semiconductor Devices and Basic Electronic System. The unit first of this subject is a semiconductor diode. Let's see the introduction about it. In electronics, we classify the materials into three different types depending upon their current carrying capacity or conductivity, such as conductor, insulator, and semiconductor. The question arises here, what is meant by current? It is a very simple. The rate of flow of charge is called as current. Let's see the difference between the three materials conductor, insulator, and semiconductor. The first difference is in conductor it easily conducts the electrical current, that is, its conductivity is high. In insulator it does not conduct any electrical current, that is, its conductivity is 0. And in semiconductor it conducts the electrical current less than the conductor and greater than the insulator, that is, its conductivity is moderate. In other words, we can also say that in conductor the current can easily flows, in insulator the current cannot flows, and in semiconductor the current flow depends on some parameters like applied biasing or temperature, etc. The second difference is in conductor the valence and conduction bands are overlapped. Here is the valence band and here is the conduction band. These two bands are overlapped with each other. In insulator, the valence and conduction bands have very large forbidden energy gap. It is near about 6 to 10 electron volt. That means in valence band and conduction band a large energy band gap is present, which is near about 6 to 10 electron volt, while in semiconductor the valence and conduction bands have very small energy band gap near about 1.1 electron holes. The gap is very small in the semiconductor near about 1.1 electron volt. The examples of the conductor are the metals like copper, iron, aluminum, etc. While the examples of the insulator, we know that wood is an insulator, plastic, rubber are the examples of the insulator, and the examples of the semiconductor is silicon, germanium, etc. I hope you all understand the basic difference between the conductor, insulator, and semiconductor. Let's start our topic is semiconductor. What is mean by semiconductor? We already learned that a semiconductor is a material whose conductivity is between that of the conductor and the insulator. The conductivity is the current carrying capacity. That means, in other words, we can also say that the current carrying capacity of the semiconductor is less than less than the conductor and greater than the insulator. Next, in conductor, the current is carried by the flow of electrons, while in semiconductor, the current can be carried by either flow of electrons or flow of holes or by both. The semiconductor material is of a tetravalent material. The question arises here, what is meant by a tetravalent material? The material in which the outermost orbit contains the 4 valence electron is called as the tetravalent material. For example, silicon, germanium, etc. The atomic number of silicon is 14 and the atomic number of germanium is 32. The 14 number of silicon is, we can write the electronic configuration of the silicon as the first orbit contains the 2 electrons, the second orbit contains 8 electrons, and the outermost orbit contains 4 electrons. Also, we can also write the electronic configuration of germanium as the atomic number of germanium is 32, Hence, the first orbit contains 2 electrons, second orbit contains 8 electrons, third orbit contains 18 electrons, and the fourth orbit contains, that means the valence shell contains the 4 electrons. Generally, in a semiconductor material, the outermost orbit contains the 4 electrons. Hence, the semiconductor materials are the tetravalent material. I hope you all understand the concept of the tetravalent material. At 0 degree Kelvin temperature, the semiconductor acts as an insulator. This is a very important statement here, that at 0 degree Kelvin temperature, the semiconductor acts as an insulator. The devices made from semiconductor materials are the foundation of the modern electronics, including computer, radio, telephones, and many other devices. Now let's see the classification of the semiconductor materials. Mainly, the semiconductor materials are classified into two types: intrinsic semiconductor or pure semiconductor, and second one is extrinsic semiconductor or the impure semiconductor materials. The impure semiconductor materials or the extrinsic materials are further classified into two types: p-type semiconductor material and n-type semiconductor material. Let's see the description about each type one by one. Our first type is intrinsic semiconductor material. An extremely pure semiconductor material is called as intrinsic semiconductor. In other words, we can also say that the semiconductor which is in its purest form is called as the intrinsic semiconductor material. No impurities are present in the intrinsic semiconductor material. For example, the pure silicon or the pure germanium crystals are the examples of the intrinsic semiconductor material. Here is the diagram of the pure silicon crystal is shown. Let's see the diagram. In this diagram, we can see there are silicon atoms. In the middle atom, we already learned that each silicon atom is a tetravalent atom. That means in the outermost orbit it contains 4 electrons: first, second, third, fourth. Similarly, here is first electron, second electron, third electron, and fourth electron. This silicon atom completes its octet by sharing its electron with neighboring 4 silicon atoms, first one, second one, third one, and fourth one, by making a covalent bond. Hence, by making 4 covalent bonds, these silicon atom complete its octet and becomes stable. Here is the crystal structure is clearly shown. These two diagrams are similar. That means all the electrons are in bound state. No free electron or hole is present. I hope you all understand the diagram of the pure semiconductor or pure silicon crystal. Next, at 0 degree Kelvin temperature, all the electrons are at 0 degree Kelvin temperature, all the electrons are tightly bounded in the covalent bonds. Hence, there is no free electron or no free hole is present in the structure. So, the current is 0. That means in this structure, there is all the electrons are in the covalent bond. No free electron is present. We know that current is flown by the free electrons only. If the free electrons are present, then current flows. The bounded electrons are not responsible for the current flow. Hence, in this structure, there are no free electrons are present. Hence, the total current in this structure is 0. I hope you all understand this concept. Hence, this statement becomes very important, that At 0 degree Kelvin temperature, the semiconductor it acts as the insulator. Let's see once again. At 0 degree Kelvin temperature, the semiconductor acts as the insulator. At absolute zero temperature, the valence band is completely filled and the conduction band is completely empty. That means this valence band is completely filled of electrons and this conduction band is completely empty. I hope you all understand the concept of intrinsic semiconductor. Let's see the second type, extrinsic semiconductor. An impure form of semiconductor is called as the extrinsic semiconductor. To increase the conductivity of the semiconductor, the impurities are added into the pure semiconductor. The extrinsic semiconductors are made by the doping process. Then the question arises here, what is meant by the doping process? The process of adding control amount of impurities in pure semiconductor is called as doping. Depending upon the type of impurities added into the extrinsic semiconductors, they are classified into two types such as N-type semiconductor materials and P-type semiconductor materials. That means the type of impurity added in the intrinsic semiconductor divides the material into two types, N-type material and P-type material. Let's see what is meant by N-type material and P-type material. N-type material. When the pentavalent impurities like phosphorus, arsenic, antimony are added into intrinsic or pure semiconductor, then N-type semiconductor is formed. The question arises here, what is meant by the pentavalent impurities or the pentavalent material? It is very simple. As similar to tetravalent material, we learn that the material whose outermost orbit contains 4 valence electron is called as the tetravalent material. Similarly, the material whose outermost orbit contains 5 valence electron is called as the pentavalent material or pentavalent impurities. Here is the example of the pentavalent impurities are given. For example, phosphorus. The atomic number of phosphorus is 15. Hence, we can write the electronic configuration of the phosphorus as 2. First orbit contains 2 electrons, second orbit contains 8 electrons, and the outermost or the valence orbit contains the 5 electrons. The 5 electrons present in the outermost orbit, hence the phosphorus is a pentavalent element. Similarly, we can also write for the arsenic, the atomic number of arsenic is 33. We can divide these into electronic configuration as in first orbit there are 2 electrons, in second orbit there are 8 electrons, and in third orbit there are 18 electrons. Hence, the remaining 5 electrons are in the valence shell or in the outermost orbit. The outermost orbit contains 5 electrons, hence the arsenic also a pentavalent element. I hope you all understand the concept of pentavalent impurities or what is meant by pentavalent element. Then if the pentavalent impurities are added into the intrinsic semiconductor, then the N-type semiconductor material is formed. These impurities are called as donor impurities because they give an extra electron for the conduction of current. The electrons are majority charge carriers while the holes are the minority charge carriers in N-type semiconductor material. Let's see the crystal structure of the silicon with phosphorus atom. For example, the pentavalent impurity phosphorus is added into pure pure silicon crystal. Here is a 4 silicon atoms are shown and 1 phosphorus atom is shown. We know that in silicon Silicon is a tetravalent material, hence it contains 4 electrons in its outermost orbit. First, second, third, fourth. Similarly, first, second, third, fourth. But in phosphorus atom, there are 5 valence electrons. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Out of these 5 valence electrons, the 4 electrons make covalent bond with neighboring 4 silicon atoms like this, but the 1 electron is remaining as it is. This electron is referred as the free electrons, and we know that the free electron is responsible for the flow of current. This free electron is responsible for the flow of current. Hence, it is called as the donor impurities. That means it gives the extra electron. Here is the similar diagram is shown. The phosphorus atom made covalent bonds with the neighboring 4 silicon atoms, and the 1 electron remains as it is, which is responsible for the flow of current. I hope you all understand the concept of n-type semiconductor material. Now let's see what is meant by the p-type semiconductor material. When the trivalent impurities like boron, aluminum are added into intrinsic or pure semiconductor, then p-type semiconductor material is formed. Now the question arises here, what is meant by the trivalent impurities? We know that tetravalent means 4 valence electrons in outermost shell, pentavalent means 5 valence electrons in outermost shell, and the trivalent means there are 3 valence electrons in the outermost shell. For example, the atomic number of boron is 5. We can write the electronic configuration of this boron atom as first orbit contains 2 electrons and the last orbit contains the 3 electrons. Also, we can also write the electronic configuration of the aluminum whose atomic number is 13. The atomic number is 13. Hence, the electronic configuration is 2, 8, and the outermost orbit contains 3. That means the materials whose outermost orbit contains or the valence shell contains 3 electrons is called as the trivalent material. Let's see. When the trivalent impurities are added into the intrinsic semiconductor material, then the p-type semiconductor material is formed. These impurities is called as acceptor impurities because they creates vacancy of electron, or the vacancy of electron is also called as a hole for the conduction of current. Remember here that in semiconductor material, electrons as well as holes are responsible for the conduction of the current. The holes are the majority charge carriers while the electrons are the minority charge carriers in the p-type semiconductor material. Let's see the diagram, the crystal structure of p-type semiconductor material. For example, the trivalent impurity boron is added into the pure germanium crystal. Here is the boron atom is placed between the germanium crystal. We know that in, let's see the diagram. We know that the boron atom is a trivalent material. That means it contains the 3 valence electrons, first, second, and 3 electrons, and here is a deficiency of electron is present, hence a hole is present. That means in p-type semiconductor material, the holes are responsible for the conduction of current, hence holes are the majority charge carriers in the p-type semiconductor materials, while the electrons are the minority charge carriers in p-type semiconductor material. I hope you all understand the basic concept about the n-type semiconductor material and p-type semiconductor material. Let's see the short summary of the semiconductor material or this video lecture. Let's see what is meant by the semiconductor material. The semiconductor material is the material whose conductivity or the current carrying capacity is less than that of the conductor and greater than that of the insulator. That means the conductivity of the semiconductor is between insulator and conductor. The semiconductors are further classified into two types: intrinsic or pure semiconductor, and second one is extrinsic or impure semiconductor materials. The semiconductor materials in its pure form is called as intrinsic semiconductor material. At absolute 0 degree Kelvin temperature, the semiconductor acts as the insulator. This is the very important statement, that at 0 degree Kelvin temperature, the semiconductor acts as the insulator, because at 0 degree Kelvin temperature all the electrons are in the bounded state, no free electron is present. Hence, if there is no free electron, then there is no flow of current. Hence, it is called as the insulator at 0 degree Kelvin temperature. But for its current carrying capacity, or to increase its current properties, the impurities are added into the intrinsic semiconductor material. The process of adding impurities in the pure or intrinsic semiconductor material is called as doping. By using this doping process, we can classify the extrinsic semiconductor materials into two types: p-type semiconductor material and n-type semiconductor material. The p-type semiconductor material is the semiconductor material in which a trivalent impurity is added. A trivalent impurity means the materials whose outermost orbit contains 3 valence electrons. Hence, the 3 valence electrons are make covalent bonds with neighboring 3 silicon atoms, and one vacant place of the electron is present. This is called as the holes. Hence, in p-type semiconductor materials, holes are the majority charge carriers, while the electrons are the minority charge carriers. Similarly, in n-type semiconductor material, if the pentavalent impurity is added into the pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor, then n-type semiconductor material is formed. Here is, electrons are the majority charge carriers, while the holes are the minority charge carriers. I hope you all understand what is meant by semiconductor. Thank you, students.